And that means Terry and I are going to Bass River to do some rock hounding. Everybody, welcome back to the channel. So today me and Terry are in the Bass River, and we're way up the Bass River where we think the outcrop is for the seams. We noticed there's some loose basalt here and it's falling off of this hill, so I think this is how it's getting in the river. It's just there's really loose basalt in here. Some have seams. I've seen this stuff right here, so I've been collecting some of this on the bank. And you know, this is just coming rolling down the hill here. A lot of it's under the trees here, just loose. It's just loose in the soil. So pretty cool. We're gonna sift around here a little more. Terry's way down there, down at the foot of the river there looking. But we're not gonna go too far up here. We're just gonna stay here close to what we can find along the bank here, and we'll film it if we find it. But we're going to work our way down. We're probably going to go down to some dry sandbars as well and do a little sifting through the sandbars because we think there's more stuff there. You remember Terry found that huge piece of cake, that huge cake piece of agate he found there 2 years ago. Yeah, we're going to see if we can find something as big as that. But we're having some luck here at the foot of the bank at the river here, and we're going to keep looking. So just about 10 feet up the bank here, underneath this tree, I found a seam. Found all these pieces. So I found all these pieces. They don't look like much right now. I'll go clean them off, but it's definitely seam agate. So we'll clean that off here down by the river. But I'm chasing this little seam up underneath the root of this tree. So there's definitely some material here right at the foot of the river. So Terry and I walked down the river quite a ways, probably a couple kilometers from up where we were picking the stuff out of the bank. Haven't found too many pieces, found a couple. Nice little, almost like a nodule there. Here's some with some mossy features. This is similar to the stuff we were pulling out of the bank up there. This one has some gnarly colors in it. And this one's just a broken off piece of opal here. And I got this bigger chunk. Just found, I don't know if I'll keep it. Might be worth a cut down the middle to see if there's anything hiding in there, but seems to be some decent color right there. So Terry and I think this is right around the spot where Terry found his big, huge piece a couple years ago. So might do some sifting through the bar here, see if we can see any bigger pieces. That's where I found this one right over here. And I will show you the stuff that I pulled out of the bank here in a little bit when I wash it off. So this first pile is the first spot I was at, where I was digging at the beginning of the video. And some really nice seam agate. That was at the base of that tree. Really pretty stuff. Just lots of it here. I'll just show you some of the smaller pieces here. Here's a bigger piece, but it's thin. It's got red and yellow and that clear chalcedony in there. This is a cool one. A little bit of pink in there. A lot of this is heavily fractured. Just from being in that soil, in the frost, getting snowed on all those years. So I'm pretty certain that that's the source of that material. The second pile is the second area we were at, and it's distinctly different. You can see that it's got a lot more white in it, and the red is more of a kind of a deeper burgundy, and the yellow is a little brighter. It's a nice little piece here, a little thicker. I'll take a slice down there, but again, it's pretty fractured up. This one I like a lot. It's got some banding in there at the end. So it's nice material. Be nice cutting material. Some more banding in this piece here. It's opal. So Terry and I are going to sift through these banks, and then we're going to probably head out of here. But this is a pretty good haul today. Terry's got his own stash over there. Might show some of those pieces at the end, what Terry's got. But we'll film it if we find it. Nice little tumbler here. It's got the mossy bits at the bottom and the kind of the seamy agate at the top. It's a good tumbler. Pretty fractured though. Tumbler might obliterate it, but we can give it a try. I just stumbled on this piece. Let's get her wet. Definitely a seam of that mossy stuff. Did you get a piece?
Yeah.
Terry found a nice moss seam here.
A little agate seam, yeah.
That side looks nice there.
Yeah, like a peanutty kind of thing.
Yeah. It's different. It's interesting.
It'll look nice cut up, I think.
Yeah. Terry just found this nice little 1.5 inch piece here by 3 inch piece. Seam. Full seam. Fractured up, but that's typical of the Bass River. But this gravel bar here is proving to show some material, so.
Big cobble usually means bigger stone.
Another little tumbler size piece here. Or possibly a cutter. It's got some void in it here. Probably cut it. Here's a big piece of it. It looks like it's that white stuff, but it looks big.
It's through the rock.
Yeah, it is.
Through the rock. It's almost like that oakley kind of. It's agate, right? It's just gnarly. Been in the river for probably
thousands of years. Might try to cut it in half. Let's get it wet. What? Oh, I saw the white. Yeah, it's got a little bit of action. Worth a cut, probably. Cut it on a couple different sides, see what we can do. There's another piece right there. This one looks more sea maggoty. It looks nice on that side. It's got that moss and that white quartz and opal all mixed through it there. One thing Terry and I are noticing is that the banks are really built up this year. We tried to sift through, and I mean, we're not really having much luck finding anything. The bank was the best bet of the day. So we're gonna walk out slowly. We're walking back upriver, see if we can see anything on our way out. But since this video is a little shorter, I'm gonna cut some of those sea maggots, show them to you at the end of the video. So if I find anything on the way out, I'll film it. My theory is that the bigger chunks we found a couple years ago were just finally getting released from underneath the bars. It's not coming from the source spot that we found upriver. That's just, I don't think that material can make its way down. It's too high up on the bank. But the bigger stuff that gets down here, I think it's already been down here. And it's in this, you know, this is all loose cobbles under here. It's an old floodplain. The river was probably a lot bigger than it is now. And you just see these banks get eroded over time. And there's probably pieces of sea maggot in here from upriver from hundreds of years ago probably. And they're just getting released. And Terry and I got lucky one year. We found a couple of nice pieces. But that source upriver there that we found earlier today was nice. Found some nice pieces there. Some pieces that won't be as fractured. There's a couple pieces that didn't look too bad. So gonna cut those. But next time you see me, I'll be back at the house and we will cut some of these, see what they look like. Terry and I are out of the river now, and these are the two pieces that Terry had I didn't show. This is a nicer one here. It's got the right colors. He's got another one here. It's from that first spot that we were at on the bank. So we're gonna head home, and as I promised, I'll cut some of these rocks since my video is a little shorter. Thanks, Terry, coming along. It was a tough walk. It was a tough walk out of there, but we found this source, I think, finally. The bigger ones, I think, Terry and I theorized that they've been in those bars for years and years and years, and they just come out in the floods.
Somewhere, so, right?
Yeah, eventually, thousands of years ago, they probably the river probably cut them out. But yeah, those small ones, I think, the smaller ones, we think we found the source. They're in the bank there. So anyway, I'll head home and we'll cut some of these rocks. Okay, we are back home from our trip from Bass River, and I've got these segregated into the different types of sea maggots. These are the big boys over here, and I'm just going to pick out some and cut some to show for this video, and the rest of them, there's too many to cut. I'll cut at a later time, but probably another video a couple weeks from now or something. But we'll cut them on the 10-inch slab saw, high-tech diamond slab saw, and then I'll show the results at the end.